Hey readers, you are here for a read aloud today, and I'm very excited because I have a brand new book. This I just ordered and it just arrived the other day, and I want to read at least the first chapter. I might actually do the whole book. I've heard this is just amazing. This is called Planet Omar, Accidental Trouble Magnet by Zainab Mian and illustrated by Nesea Mafaradik. So wow, I'm super duper excited, and let's just jump right in. We've got our tools, reader's notebook, sticky notes, pen, and book. Now I want to identify some reading goals that I'm going to be focusing on in my reading today. Okay, here is the narrative reading progression, and I'm going to use this to find a skill that I want to focus on. So obviously I'm starting a brand new book, and I'm definitely going to do some orienting. And then I think, since it's in the beginning of the book, I think that I'm going to do some monitoring for sense to make sure that everything is kind of fitting, and I'm understanding the sequence of events and the characters. So those are my two skills that I'm going to do, orienting and monitoring for sense. So here I put on the date, title, the author, illustrator, and I've identified my reading goals of orienting and monitoring for sense. Okay, let's start with a little orienting. So title, Planet Omar, Accidental Trouble Magnet. And I'm noticing on the cover here that there's lots of little illustrations around the edges. He looks like maybe he's confused, right? He has his hand on his head. I'm assuming this is Omar, so maybe it's like Planet Omar is like, this is coming from his brain maybe. Let's read the back blurb where it says, welcome to the imaginative brain of Omar. Omar and his family have just moved, and he is not excited about starting at a new school. What if the work is too hard, or the kids are mean, or the teacher is a zombie alien? But when Omar makes a new best friend, things start looking up. That is, until a big, mean bully named Daniel makes every day a nightmare. Daniel even tells Omar that all Muslims are going to be kicked out of the country. Could that possibly be true? Luckily, Omar's enormous imagination and goofy family help him get through all of life's ups and downs. Okay, so we have, yes, this is Omar. He's the main character, and this is written maybe from his brain, right? It says, welcome to the imaginative brain of Omar. We've learned that he's just moved to a new school, but he's feeling maybe a little bit worried, and there's a bully named Daniel who seems to be picking on Omar, and there could be some tension there. So I'm just going to write a quick couple sentences of what I think is going to happen in this story, and then we'll get started reading. So I've just written a couple sentences. This story will be written from Omar's perspective. He might have some troubles at his new school, including some issues with a bully, Daniel. Okay, here we go. Planet Omar, Accidental Trouble Magnet. Here's the dedication. This book is dedicated to all the children who ever felt that being different is a negative thing. Oh, I like that. Okay, so here's a nice little drawing. We see me. My name is Omar. This is my face. I have a huge imagination. I hate carrots. I once raced against my dad and my dad's car on my bike and won. Okay, so we're getting to know Omar a little bit. Oh, more characters. This is nice. I love how in the very beginning it like just kind of lays out the characters. Okay, so there's Issa. I know an Issa. Hi, Issa. Don't be fooled by this 3-year-old's innocent face. Can scream and cry louder than an ambulance siren. Bits of food always can be found around his hair. Plays with all my stuff and makes it all sticky. I love him, but don't tell anyone. Then there's Miriam, 13, but she thinks she's 16. Knows the 28 surahs of the Quran by heart. Was once caught hiding a stash of peanut butter cups under her pillow. Loves to tease me even more than she loves peanut butter cups. Okay, so I'm guessing this is going to be Omar's brother and sister, Isa and Miriam. Then there's mom and dad. Mom does not know how to say no. She's a scientist, hardly ever seen without a cup of coffee in her hands. This is what she looks like without her hijab on, when there are no men around who would be allowed to marry her if she didn't already have my dad. Then there's dad. He has a beard because he's copying the greatest man who ever lived. I've actually never seen his face without it. Will never eat a beet, also a scientist. He has poofy hair, and he says it's because of his genes. Rides a motorcycle. Grandma tries to puncture his tires because she doesn't think it's safe. Okay, and I want to give you a look at those images. So we have mom and dad. Cool. Chapter 1. Katu. There was a big puddle of spit on my little brother's forehead. It was mine, but he was still sleeping. Let me tell you what happened. I had been in my bed attempting to have a good night's sleep when suddenly I was being chased through the playground by a teacher who had green slime oozing out of his ears and slugs for fingernails. It was a dream. A bad dream, of course. When I woke up, I was extremely happy that I wasn't about to be a monster's dinner. I breathed slowly to get my heartbeat back to normal, instead of it like it was on a trampoline. I remembered that my mom told me to spit toward my shoulders 3 times if I have a nightmare. That is supposed to get rid of Shaitan, who is an ugly head who causes bad dreams. I really wanted to get rid of Shaitan, so I conjured up a bucket full of spit in my mouth and shot it out over my left shoulder. That'll teach him. I just hoped it would dry before morning so nobody would know I'd spat on my little brother by accident. I want to show you something that's happening in these pages. So you can see that this author and illustrator really took some time to make these words stand out. So you can see here the green slime oozing and slugs and bat and trampoline. Like, this has some really cool effects to the text. I put my head back on the pillow for 1/8 of a second, but then I heard a really loud and annoying sound. Wah! See, very loud and very annoying. It was Isa. I guess he noticed the spitball after all, and he wasn't impressed. Mom appeared in the door to our room in her pajamas, looking all bleary-eyed. Unimpressed parent can be recognized by hand on hip and furrowed eyebrows. Can be scary, but do not run away. She said, "What's the matter, Isa?" Isa was still busy wailing so hard, so I said, "Spitball." "Not again, Omar." Wah! I covered my head with the pillow. Then Dad came in saying it would be nice if we could have at least one night in the week where poor Isa isn't woken up by my shenanigans. I asked him what that means for the 1,000,000th time, and for the 1,000,000th time, he rolled his eyes. I heard my big sister Miriam growling in her room. She definitely doesn't like mornings very much. Mom said it was almost Fajr time. I wondered if Allah was going to give me a reward for waking them up for Fajr. And then on this next page, we have the times of the daily prayers. So we're learning a few things about Omar here, right? Let's check in and make sure that this is all making sense, because that's the end of chapter 1. So I'm just going to I'm going to practice that skill, monitoring for sense, by asking myself, okay, who's in this story? What's happening? Does this make sense? Am I understanding it? Well, yeah, I think it is. We started the story by learning about Omar, he's the main character, and his brother and sister, Isa and Miriam. Then we were given some information about his mom and dad. We know that Isa and Omar share a bedroom together, and it seems like Omar is not naughty, but he has been waking up his brother. He spit on his forehead, not in a mean way, right? But he is trying to keep, it's like a superstition, trying to keep away something evil that's causing bad dreams. And he's Muslim, so we've learned that his family, they're waking up for their morning prayer. So yeah, I'm going to write that this is making sense to me and a few of the things I'm learning so far. So I've just written a sentence here that at the end of chapter 1, this book is making sense. This book is making sense. The characters are Omar, Isa, Miriam, mom and dad, and Omar is a little mischievous. Okay, I'm going to jump into chapter 2. The reason I had been having bad dreams, especially bad dreams about teachers, was because I was going to be starting at a new school. This made me feel like there were snakes in my tummy. Good writing alert. I love that figurative language. I'm going to make a quick sticky note. Okay, so I've just written a little heart for the code and said, I love this writing. It makes me feel like there were snakes in my tummy. And then I also put the page number for when I put it into my notebook later. This made me feel like there were snakes in my tummy, and some of them were sneaking up and squeezing my heart. I don't like things to change. It could be so much more convenient and better for everybody if things just always stayed the same. Take my pajamas, for example. They are utterly comfortable pajamas, which have somehow molded their shape to my body and become my second skin. A weird second skin that if I take off and put on like some kind of cool human lizard. My mom tried to throw them away and make me wear crispy pajamas that don't even have dinosaurs on them. This is change. It's super annoying. One big, fat, huge change already happened to me. We had to move, which is the reason I had to start a new school, all because my mom got her dream job. When she told me, I couldn't help wondering what she meant exactly by dream job. Did it mean that adults have super boring dreams all about jobs? If that was true, I wasn't looking forward to being an adult. Because at the moment, I dream about fun stuff, like being on a roller coaster that turns into a flying pig. Sometimes my dreams are even better than movies. Well, apart from the scary ones that make me feel really lucky that when I wake up and I realize they're not real. So anyway, that job that my mom must have dreamed about all the time was too far from where we lived before. So we had to move. And the moving bit was very, very times 100 annoying because Dad said I couldn't put all the 1,267 important things from my room in the boxes I had to take to my new house. He didn't actually count my things, but he likes to say exact numbers when he's talking so he can sound smart. He said that I had to choose the ones that I love most and give the rest to charity. Why didn't he understand that I love them all? But then he said he would be very proud of me if I could choose because I would have done better than Mom, who had already packed lots of things of what Dad called boxes of hoarded goods. I like Dad being proud of me, especially because it normally means pastries for breakfast. So I chose 56 things to take with me. I counted them really carefully so I could be precise when Dad asked me, and also make sure that nobody sneakily gave away anything without me noticing. The good news is that this new house was super, super cool. When we first saw it, Miriam and I ran straight into the backyard and whooped because it was at least twice the size of our old one. We planned out where we could put a soccer net and Isa's swing set, and Miriam did loads of cartwheels to prove just how massive it was. That was the first time we saw the little old lady who lived next door. She peeped over the fence and said, and put her nose higher in the air as if she was smelling something that she didn't like. There's an image of that lady from next door. Okay, So I'm having a few thoughts. I'm checking in again with my monitoring for sense, checking for understanding, making sure things make sense. And I feel like I got this. I'm understanding that Omar, he moved to this new place because his mom got her dream job, so they had to move to a new house. But it seems like he's not really the kind of kid who likes things to change. He likes things to stay the same. And I'm wondering if that's going to present a problem for him. Then at the very end of the second chapter, we see that there's a neighbor who's like this little old lady who I'm kind of inferring that maybe she doesn't want to talk to Omar and his family. So I'm kind of wondering why that is. And I'm thinking we'll probably learn some more about that soon. So I'm just going to make a quick note of all of that and then wrap this up. So in my notebook, I've created two things here. First is just a little note about at the end of chapter 2, I've noticed Omar doesn't like change, and this will probably present a problem for him. Additionally, I made a sticky note with a question on it. I'm wondering, why is this old lady being so snobbish? And I'm wondering, will we learn more soon? So we have completed 2 chapters in Planet Omar, Accidental Trouble Magnet. And I gotta say, in these first 2 chapters, I'm hooked. I think I'm gonna spend some more time making more read aloud videos so that we can read this whole story together. So please stay tuned for more. And I want you to do your own thinking alongside me. Maybe you might wanna make a prediction of like this old lady who's the neighbor. What do you think might happen? Or, anything that you're thinking, jot that down and think alongside with me as we read the rest of the story. Okay, see you soon, readers. Bye.